we will talk about LiteLLM, which is an LLM gateway. And the recording, through this recording, I'm going to show how to install and set up LiteLLM, and then use the LiteLLM proxy through a Python program. Right? So I went into the documentation of LiteLLM, docs.litellm.ai. Under that E2 tutorial, the Docker compose method is what I use to set up LiteLLM. Right? For that, you need to have Docker already running on your machine. So in my Mac, I installed and downloaded and installed Docker desktop and ensured that Docker is running. Right? Then I downloaded the Docker compose file. I created the master key as mentioned here, wrote it into the .env file, exactly how it is given. That's what I did. Then I created the salt key. The salt key is used to decrypt and encrypt the LLM API key credentials. And finally, I did a Docker compose up. Right, when I did the Docker compose up, it pulled up the required Docker images. So it pulls up a PostgreSQL image and the image of the LiteLLM. It also pulls up a Prometheus image. I think the Prometheus image is used to collect some of the matrices. In my installation, the Prometheus image for some reason did not work. I still need to find out why, whether it is part of the enterprise version or not. That is what I need to check. But Prometheus part, that metrics part, is something that I could not explore. Right. So once the Docker compose up is run, the LiteLLM proxy server will be running on the 4000 port, right? And the Swagger APIs the Swagger documentation, you can see it here. And to go to the UI, you just /UI, go to UI, and then what I did is through the model endpoints, I added a model. So initially you'll not see anything here. You need to go to add model, and this is where you add the approved model that you want to approve for your organization. This is the screen where you come in and add the models from the different providers. LiteLLM currently supports a lot of providers: Amazon Bedrock, Anthropic, Azure, Cohere, Databricks, DeepSeek, right? Many Olama, right? So I used OpenAI for my exploration. So I said OpenAI, oops, and then selected the GPT 4.1, right? Oops, GPT 4.1. Then okay, so the public model name is the model name that you will use in the Python program for the LiteLLM proxy abstraction. There you will use the public model name. This you cannot change. This is what LiteLLM underneath will use to call the OpenAI base URL with this model name, right? The mode, through the mode you can further constrain which endpoints of that provider you want to give access to. Right? This is the API base. This is where I put the OpenAI API key. I went into my account, my OpenAI account, created a API key and put it here, and then created the model, right? So added the model. So once you add the model, it will be available under all models like this, as is shown on the screen right now, right? It will also then be shown under Model Hub, right? You can see under the Model Hub which models are available for a particular organization. Right? Then I created a teams. So I did a create new team. Here I gave a team name, right? Then I mentioned which models the team should get access to. So this is another good feature of an LLM gateway, where I can restrict the models that a particular team within an organization can use, right? I can also put a max budgets, for example 10 USD, and the reset budget I can say daily, weekly, or monthly, right? So If I say daily, after 10 USD is spent on a particular day, that day you cannot use the models, it will be again reset the next day, right? We can also constrain by tokens per minute, request per minute, right? Some more things that we can do through this. There are some additional settings that I have not explored yet, but with this I created the team. Once I created the team, then I created a virtual key or an API key for the team, right? So virtual, this is where you go and create a API key for the team. Say create new key, give the team name, for example, my team. I already created the API key, so I'll not create another API key for them. You give a name, right? And here again, you can say which models you want to give access. So for different models, looks like you can create different API keys also if you want to do that way, right? But here, since I have only one model, right, I selected the model and created the key for this. Once you create the key, store that, because once the key is created and shown to you, you will not be able to see it again, right? It will come and sit here, right? So once the key is created, then I went to the Python program and I installed LiteLLM package, right? I did a pip install of LiteLLM package. Then I created this example OpenAI.python program where I imported the completion module from LiteLLM, and in the .env, I'll not show it right now. In .env, I put the LiteLLM proxy API key. Although, like, even if I show it, you cannot do anything because it is on my local Mac machine right now. This is the key. This is the placeholder of the key that I have created here, right? When I said create new under virtual keys, right? So I'm taking the LiteLLM proxy API key. Now, if you see, this is where I am providing the API key. I'm not providing the actual OpenAI API key, but I'm using the LiteLLM proxy API key, which underneath will use the OpenAI API key, because I have done that mapping already when I created the model endpoints, right? And here, so OpenAI is the provider, / the model that I want to use, right? This is the model name, right? Since I have given all access to GPT 4.1 through this API key, I can only use GPT 4.1. If I just use GPT 4, I'll show that to you also. It will say that you don't have access to this GPT 4 model, right? Then I said the prompt that I gave is where is Taj Mahal located, right? This is the proxy location, right? This is where the LLM proxy is running, right? This is where it is running, right? API key, and I am printing the response. So if I run this, you'll see it should be able to call the GPT 4.1 model, and it will give me the answer, right? But let's say I say GPT 4, right, which I have not given access. It should say that this API, this model name is, this key can only access models GPT 4.1. GPT 4 access is not given, right? So these are some of the features of LLMGateway. Few more things that I want to show is, after I ran it, if you see in the logs, you can see all the calls that are that has happened through, that has gone through this LLM proxy, right? So this is the failures where I did the GPT 4, and this was the previous one where I caught the 4.1, right? It tells you the cost, the duration, right? Which team used it, right? There are some more features that I am exploring. Guardrails is one of them, right? You can add guardrails, and what I have seen is there are many providers of guardrails. What I need to see is if there is a way to add custom guardrails as well, right? I did not see Ragas or TrueLens package here, but I do see Presidio is there, through which I can do a lot of PII level guardrails. I see Bedrock guardrail is there, Guardrails AI is there, right? TrueLens and Ragas I don't see, and I also need to see if I can add my custom guardrails, right? Then logs I have already shown. There are some experimental ones, caching, prompts, budgets. I still need to explore this, right? There is the usage part as well. For me, it did not work, right? So although like I made a lot of LLM calls, this did not uh, get populated. So there should be something that I have not um, configured, probably. That's why there is not. So I'm still exploring this, right? But through this recording, I just wanted to show like what an LLM gateway is. What are the type of capabilities an LLM gateway should provide, and LiteLLM is one of the open source products in this space. So that's all I wanted to show as part of this recording. Thank you.